Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to another great video. And this is more of just a spur-of-the-moment video. I had the idea when the other day I passed by a theater billboard and saw that the film American Underdog is playing in theaters, a movie made about the life of Kurt Warner. And this is not a review or preview. I haven't seen the movie. I saw like a 30-second trailer. I don't even know who the cast, director, or anything is. I don't know if it's good, bad. Haven't seen it. So for that reason, it's not a review or preview. I just want to talk about Kurt Warner for a second because in my opinion, please note that I said opinion twice, he is the best player that has ever been in the NFL, period. I'm going to tell you why. If you don't know who Kurt Warner is, what rock have you been living under all your life? You know, it's interesting that he is my favorite player because I got to tell you, I was, to put it bluntly, too young to remember when he was playing in the NFL. I didn't find out about him until he'd been retired for years. But even then, and watching the highlight reels and like the little mini ESPN documentaries they made about him, I could just tell there was something special about this guy. 1999, he took the St. Louis Rams to Super Bowl 34. And they called it the miracle season. John Madden himself, rest in peace, described him as the greatest story that the NFL had ever produced, ever. He said, this is the best I've ever heard. And it was pretty great. And they called the team the greatest show on turf. It wasn't just Kurt Warner. The whole St. Louis Rams was on fire that year. And they're back again this year with Matthew Stafford at the helm. But they called it the greatest show on turf at the time. And it was supposed to have really been something. I kind of wish I had watched that live a little bit, but I don't know. But it was really something. And the reason Kurt Warner is so different than all the other quarterbacks you hear about is over the years there's been a lot of great guys. I mean, look, you had Joe Montana, Joe Namath, you had Doug Flutie, some recent guys like Kyler Murray that are really lighting it up, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. All these guys are really great in a lot of respects, but what made Warner different is he wasn't like them because he didn't get drafted like these guys did. A lot of these guys are like #1 round draft picks, and they had all this expectation. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected Kurt Warner to be anything in the NFL. He played a little bit of ball in high school. I don't think he ever started. He played for this no-name team in Iowa, and he described it as, you know, I picked corn in the summer, and then we went and played football when we're not picking corn. And he didn't even get to start there. Nobody thought anything of him there. He attempted to get drafted in the NFL. Nothing, of course. Nothing happened. And then he got drafted as a free agent a little while after the actual draft had taken place. And he went and decided to take a $5,000 signing bonus with the Green Bay Packers. And he talked about being so broke at the time. He said $5,000 may as well have been like $1 million to me. And he said he could have played for either them or I think it was the Bears he could have played for. But he said he went for the Packers because he said the Bears had 3-star quarterbacks. He said there's no way I was going to be able to play. He said all I had to do was beat out Brett Favre. Which sounds hilarious to us now, but at the time, Favre wasn't as well known as he was. Kurt Warner ignorantly thought he was going to beat him out, and he said, yeah, my first week I quickly realized there's no beating this guy out. Within just a few weeks of being with the Packers, they cut him. Not because he was doing poorly. He actually kept record and said all he got to do was 14 reps. That's it. And out he went. He said, but at least I got to keep my my cool Nike shoes they gave me, he said, which were like $300 or $400, so I mean, hey, positive attitude, right? But he got kicked out, and this is the moment where most people would have just given up completely. You never got to play hardly any middle school, hardly any high school. Nobody wanted you in college. You tried to get drafted, nothing happened. Give it up, man. This guy didn't. He went to his little Hy-Vee up in Iowa, went back home to Iowa where he lived, went and worked at the Hy-Vee, which if you don't know what that is, it's just basically like a little Piggly Wiggly. That's it, man. It's like this little supermarket store. And stocked shelves all night. And he had to do it all night because he didn't give up. He still wanted to play. So what did he do? Played arena football. And arena football in the 90s. Look, arena football is corny enough right now. As he described it in the 90s, arena football was really something, and he claimed that the guy who owned it at the time thought he was like the P.T. Barnum of football. He got signed on with a team called the Barnstormers, and he said he tried to give us all nicknames like Captain Destructo or the Eliminator over here. And he said it was a circus. He said with the clowns and everything, and with the fake AstroTurf and all, but he tried to make the best of it. Barely got any sleep at all. I mean, just got a few hours sleep. Played arena football at day and went and practiced with them, and during the weeks when they weren't playing. Night, he's stocking shelves and stuff, and he even managed to take that with a little bit of humor. He said it wasn't so bad. He says, you know what's neat about stocking shelves is that if there's a broken pack of cookies or cereal, you get to keep it. And he said, sometimes I admit there was a lot of packs of Oreo cookies that accidentally were dropped in my shift. So he managed to take that with humor. I like the attitude. I really do. Again, most people would have given up. This guy's playing arena football and he's taking it seriously. He's really trying. And then out of nowhere, he played a really good game with the Barnstormers. I don't remember who he beat. It was some ridiculous sounding team. There's an NFL scout there with the St. Louis Rams who offered to let him walk on. No signing bonus. Nothing special. He would just be coming to the St. Louis Rams and just playing backup a little bit and making about maybe $10,000 a year, if that. He took it. And by the way, the St. Louis Rams had a really good quarterback. I cannot remember his name. It was, if I try to say it, I'm going to get it wrong. But they had a really good quarterback. His odds still weren't good. And by the way, this was 1999. About the second or third game of the Rams season, the quarterback got hurt bad. I think he broke his leg completely. And that looked like it was it. The Rams weren't going to the Super Bowl, and out comes this no-name backup quarterback named Kurt Warner. That was the year he took the Rams to Super Bowl 34 in what some have described as the greatest season by any team in the NFL ever. Well, they said it at the time. I don't know about now. But it was really something special. Unless you think it was a fluke, he went and did the same thing again in 2001 just to show you he could do it again. It was pretty special. Kurt Warner, in my opinion, really just epitomizes. I think that the title of the film is very, very poignant. Yes, he is the real American underdog. Nobody wanted him. Nobody thought he was going to do anything. He turned out to be one of the best. And I actually watched in 2017 when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he deserved that, in my opinion. But, man, what a story. I mean, let's just face it. We're all suckers for that kind of story. You know, we love it. We can't help it. Everybody wants to see that happen. It was pretty special. And over the years, you know, one of my favorite parts is he never lost his head. He's a fairly quiet person. You know, he doesn't get in trouble. You're never going to see him get drunk out on the streets or something or whatever. And I like that. He managed to keep his head. He didn't refer to himself in the third person. Thank you, Kurt. And, man, just the way he could play. I mean, I didn't get to see it live, but I've seen the highlights. I've seen some of the games. They were pretty special. And I can honestly say there's never been a quarterback like Kurt Warner. I know everybody else calls Tom Brady the greatest of all time. Well, I know in terms of numbers he may be, but my question is, I'm not saying anything, I'm just questioning, had the roles been reversed, would Tom Brady have done the same thing if he went undrafted for all that time and if he had to, you know, stock shelves all night? I mean, would he have gone and played arena football? I'm just questioning, would he have done it? Would he? There's just something interesting. Well, this guy did. Earned a spot as hands down one of the greatest of all time. I'm really happy they made a film about him. I don't know if it's good, but I hope they do a good job. Again, in my opinion, he's the greatest player ever to have been in the NFL. Kurt Warner was really something pretty special. That's just what I wanted to talk about today. Let's never forget great players like that. And thank you for watching this video.